If you've been trying to keep up with wild DC leaks, Nintendo's latest controversy, and a Power Rangers reboot from Disney, welcome to the chaos. This week on the ESE Files, we're talking possible leaked Supergirl and Lobo photos, The Last of Us Season 2, and Nintendo doubling down on its pricey hikes. Oh, and that Minecraft movie? It is tearing it up at the box office, and a sequel has been confirmed. Welcome back to the ESE Files, where we talk movies, video games, anime, a bunch of whatever tickles your pickle. We have a good time here, and we're going to start off with the Power Rangers. Power Rangers is getting a reboot, the reboot treatment. Disney and Hasbro are teaming up to bring the Power Rangers back to life with a new live action reboot aimed at both longtime fans and a new generation. Disney has reacquired the rights from Hasbro. They will be developing a streaming focused reboot of the franchise. And basically what they want to do is they want to create a new series where it appeals to the 90s kids, right? Us, nostalgia, right? They want us to watch, and they want us to watch with our children. They want a new generation of fans. They want the Power Rangers to live on and carry over beyond us. They're not going to do the same thing again, right? They're going to try and remove the campiness, which is arguably part of the Power Rangers. It's always been kind of campy, and that's just what it is. Jonathan E. Steinberg and Dan Schatz, they are in talks to write, produce, and showrun the new live action series. Their goal is they're going to want this to be more cinematic, like more, I think, Marvel in a sense, right? Less campiness, more Marvel. Maybe somewhere in between. Maybe, you know what the live action DC did. You know, there's still some campiness, but it's a lot more on the serious side. And by those, I mean like Arrow and Flash and Supergirl. Those kind of shows that maybe add that kind of touch to the Power Rangers. And maybe that's not such a bad idea. It brings a little bit more realism. It gets out of the goofy monster of the week, maybe, possibly bring in some scary monsters, some monsters that look threatening instead of, I don't know, like a giant pig head with legs. Maybe. Is this a good idea? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I'm curious. As a longtime Power Rangers fan myself, and I'm not going to claim to have watched every single thing. I've watched primarily like the first 3 iterations, right? I don't know if I want this. I hated the movie, the 2020, what was it, 2017? Yeah, the movie that was released in 2017. They reboot the Power Rangers for a new movie, and they took out all the campiness. They replaced it with the grittiness, this dark background, dark colors. Everything felt muted, and to me, it did not feel like Power Rangers. What's that movie with the giant robots? Pacific Rim. It felt like a touch of Pacific Rim, where it was based in realism. It had some dark, gritty moments, and then they slapped on the name Power Rangers. They throw in a little bit of lore. It just didn't feel like Power Rangers to me. If you take away what we loved from the Power Rangers, can you still call it Power Rangers? I mean, yeah, but it's not going to be the same. Who knows if this could be a good idea? This could be a bad idea. We won't know until they release it. All I know is that they will be having some Disney funding, some Disney money, and hopefully Disney won't have too much to say. Hasbro will hopefully have a little bit more say. That's all we can hope for, right? We can hope for something good out of this. They are targeting for 2026, next year, 2026 release. They don't have casting. They don't have directors or anything just yet. Nothing official anyways. We don't know anything about the story, right? Because nothing's done yet. But, you know, who knows? Who knows what they're going to do, if they're going to keep any of the lore in there, any of Zordon's story. You know, who knows what they're going to do. But what about you guys? What did you think? Did you think that the 2017 movie, was it good? Did you like it? Did you like the changes? Is this something that you want as a Power Rangers fan yourself? What about that special that was released recently on Netflix, where David Yost, Billy, right? Blue Ranger, he came back with Walter, the Black Ranger. You know the one I'm talking about? What was it called? It was Once and Always. Once and Always is the name of that one that I'm talking about. It's on Netflix. It came out in 2024. I know back then that Hasbro had a partnership with Netflix and they produced that together. And I thought it was fun. I thought it was a good throwback. They had some Netflix money and it looked beautiful, except for the CGI towards the end with the Zords. I thought it was hokey. I didn't like it. I thought the original from the 90s looked better and cleaner than what the CGI looked like in the final. I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. They had a good partnership going on. And then turns out, turns out that they didn't, I guess they didn't get along. They didn't make the money that they thought they would make and seeked out a new partner. They landed with Disney and now we're getting the reboot. So I don't know. What do you want? What do you like? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Moving on to our next topic. Supergirl is getting the movie treatment right after Superman. This is under James Gunn, his watch, and it is going to be based, presumably, right, on Woman of Tomorrow, which is a comic book run-up. It's going to solely be based on her story, and I don't think it's a spoiler. Lobo, being played by Jason Momoa, is going to be presumably the main villain, maybe the side villain. We don't know yet. We don't know all the details just yet for this film, but what we do know about this so far is that there has been some leaks, right? We got a few photo leaks right here. These were taken by a drone. Supposedly drones took photo of this. And I mean, you can kind of see the Supergirl suit. You can see she's got a short cape. She's got the skirt, her red tall boots. I mean, it's not looking too bad, to be honest. I kind of like this version of Supergirl's suit. These pictures aren't super clear, but all in due time, I'm sure we'll get the real deal. But to me, honestly, like, I'm seeing these and there's debates going online if these are real, are they fake, are they AI generated? There's so many AI generated pictures out there. I see them every day. When I'm scrolling through Facebook, I'll see like, oh, new Freddy Krueger movie coming this October. It's like, no, he's not. Robert Englund, he's retired. He's not coming back. This is fake. I'm trying to put the word out there that these things are fake, but of course, I'm not going to get to everyone. And then you see like Gremlins 3, it's coming out. Rumor, by the way, that might actually happen. More word on that once we get more details. But this photo, are they real? Are they fake? I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Maybe because the quality is so bad. This is like, 420p. This is believable just because of the quality. It was taken by a drone up high. The zoom is harsh, to say the least. I kind of feel like these could be real. Oh, and looking at this one, I didn't even realize that this could possibly be Lobo right here. Is that? I'm not sure. Up here, it looks like, there's several cameramen standing around her, different angle shots. She could be looking at Lobo. Like this is like maybe a stand-in prop, kind of like they did for the Sonic movies. You know how they had like built life-size models of Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, and they stood them in the scene where they're going to be, and then the actors were, they were doing their thing and they're talking to the models, and they did that in order to get the lighting, the shadows, that sort of thing. I wonder if they're doing something similar here, which hints that Lobo could be largely CGI. If that's the case, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm getting Green Lantern vibes where the whole suit was CGI and it looked horrible. It could have looked great. But when it went fully CGI and the mask fully CGI, like it was too much. It was overkill and I'm not feeling it. And then to add a little salt to the wound here, another photo leaked, right? Here we go. Another photo leaked of Lobo, which is presumably Jason Momoa in full makeup and full gear. And this is what he, quote unquote, looks like. Is this really him, though? I'm having trouble believing that this is really him. Don't get me wrong. I think it looks cool. I like the way it looks. The detail, again, is really rough. But I kind of don't believe that they would allow these drones to come down low enough to get a shot of Jason Momoa like this. Like, I don't see that being the case. And then like if you look at the bike, first of all, Lobo's bike is not like a regular Harley Davidson. It's like some kind of spaceship motorcycle thing. This is not what Lobo rides. This is not his, it's not his bag, man. Here we go. Just to get an idea of what this motorcycle is supposed to look like. It looks like a spaceship. It goes through space. It doesn't have wheels. It flies. It's not like a Harley Davidson type of bike. It's futuristic. Okay, here, I guess he's on that, but at least he's got some kind of skull on there or something, you know? Okay, this is obviously working against me here with these, but traditionally, his bike doesn't have wheels. It flies and he goes through space in it. Nothing on wheels is going to do that. I just don't think that this is the real deal. I feel like this one is some sort of AI generated photo. And same goes over here. If you look at the same article over here, or the same, first look at Dr. Doom from the Avengers leaked. I don't think they've even started filming yet. How would they? No, man. And this is not shade at the comic book cast, you know, that podcast. There's no shade here whatsoever. It doesn't look like Dr. Doom. It doesn't scream Dr. Doom. I hope they do better than this. It's not horrible. It just looks like the Iron Man suit with a green cape. I'm hoping this is not it. And if that's supposed to be the arc reactor, it doesn't look anything like the arc reactor. Yeah, no. I definitely think that this one for Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom is fake. But what do you guys think? Is Supergirl real? Lobo real? RDJ? Dr. Doom real? These photos? Personally, don't think so. Well, with Supergirl, yes, but the other two, not so much. I do want to take a good look at Lobo, like the real Jason Momoa in the makeup, because I think he's going to look sick. Back in the day when Jason Momoa was tied to the Crow, the one that just came out, there was some test runs, there was some makeup tests with him in the gear, and he looked amazing. It kind of does have some Lobo vibes. This is ancient news. I've covered this here before. We had some makeup tests, and I thought he looked good. He looked awesome for the role. To me, these kind of give off Lobo vibes that we would want. Something similar. I mean, Jason Momoa, he looks great for this part. He looks perfect. Absolutely perfect. He's going to nail it. And his personality is already Lobo. He's going to be great. I just don't think those photos are real. And I want to see the real thing. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Moving it on, we've got The Last of Us renewed for season 3 ahead of season 2 premiere. That is insane. This first episode of season 2 just released last Sunday from the time of this recording, and season 3 has already been announced. That is insane. They already knew this was going to be a hit. They knew it, and in my opinion, it is a hit. They got a monster of a show on their hands. They've got an excellent story to adapt. They got the perfect actors. I'm loving every single thing about this series so far. Minarm, he may differ a little bit. Overall, he liked it, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to speak for him, but I, as a fan, a big fan of the game, someone who's played the original Last of Us on PS3. I think I played it like 3 times, twice on PS4. I skipped it on PS5 because one game can only be played so many times, right? The sequel, however, I played it once, and I wasn't a super fan of the game. The storytelling was whack. It was all over the place for me personally. I think this series is doing a better job so far in season 2's storytelling. They're staying a little more chronologically. There's less flashbacks. Well, actually, there hasn't been any flashbacks yet. In the game, some scenes were flashbacks, and they're turning it into present day events in the series, and I think it's fitting so much better. And I think they're doing the story a favor by staying chronologically. I think it's doing a really good job of cleaning up the story, because that is my biggest complaint from The Last of Us 2, the video game. The storytelling was just all over the place. So far in season 2, I'm liking the direction they're going. I had previously thought that maybe it's a series, they can do their own thing. Would they dare change the events of what happens in the video game The Last of Us 2, it's possible they can still change it, but in the direction that it's going, it's gonna happen. They ain't gonna change it. If you know, you know. For those who haven't played The Last of Us 2, keep watching. It's gonna get good. It's gonna get interesting. And what I like so far from the series, season 2, so far, episode 1, they're introducing new characters, essential characters. Abby, keep an eye on her. I'm not familiar with the actress, but I'm kind of glad that they didn't go with the character model that was in the game, because she was beefy. Like, she was ripped. It kind of makes other main characters like Ellie look so small in comparison. Ellie's our main character, and Abby just steals the spotlight, bringing her down to about Ellie's same proportioned height, more or less, even things out when they're both on screen together, and they will be. It won't be so one-sided. I did like that decision. So far in episode 1 of season 2, the actress who's playing Abby, she's nailing it. She had this emotional scene where she's talking about taking out Joel, and she's intense. She's intense. I like her. Cannot wait to see what happens. Season 3 has been announced, so that's going to be presumably the second half of Video Game 2. If they took part 2 and they cut it into 2 seasons, I really wish they would have taken their time with season 1, adapt the first game into 2 seasons, because there's so much information that the series skipped over. They got the highlights, but they skipped over so much, and it would have been nice to see more play out, more of their relationship between Joel and Ellie, interact more and get to know each other. The way their bond was developed in the series was just so quick. I felt like it was fast, too fast. There could have been more in between, not necessarily filler, but more adventure together between the two, more events. Because, yeah, it was like on this side of the country, and then flash forward 6 months into the future. We know they spent 6 months together, but yeah, I really wish they would have done that. Maybe they were like, oh, maybe we're only going to get 1 season, 1 done, and let's get to the good stuff. So who knows? Fans of the game, what do you guys think? Are you enjoying this series, this live adaptation of The Last of Us on Max? Is Pedro Pascal, is he the man? Is Joel? Yeah, perfect Joel? I think so. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this show so far. Next up on our list, Minecraft, the movie. We have talked about this here on the show. Minecraft, me and Arm, just not big fans of the trailer. So this game got adapted, right? And the trailer to me looked horrible, absolutely horrible. We predicted here on the show that this movie was going to rank in the dollar bills. And what happened? That's exactly what they did. In the opening weekend, they did $162.7 million. And then on weekend 2, they raked in 80 million. This is just, I think they're definitely, they're number 1 in the box office 2 weeks in a row. And they're just making all this stupid money. Like, wow, it is insane, absolutely insane. They're up to over 400 million worldwide, and in just 2 weekends. 2 weekends. This is absolutely insane. And from what I understand, the movie itself isn't even that great. If you look at Rotten Tomatoes for a Minecraft movie, it is currently April 16. We're looking at 47% on the tomato meter and 87% on the popcorn meter. Normally, I look at the popcorn meter, if anything at all. I don't care too much for the critics or whatever they have to say, because a lot of times I disagree with what the critics say. But this time, I think I'm going to believe them. 87% on the popcorn meter. Who's rating these? All the 10-year-olds? Because there's no way. I have friends with children. I'm at that age. They took their kids to go watch this movie, and the parents are like, no, it was not good. It was not entertaining. Surely this is something aimed for that crowd of younger people who grew up with Minecraft. who know what this game is and are familiar with the chicken jockey Steve and all these other characters. I don't know them. I'm not familiar with this game whatsoever. Yes, I'm being old man. Get off my yard right now. Okay, fine. That's me. I'll take it. But this movie is just not for me. This movie is not for anyone who has never played Minecraft. There are surely a ton of references in there that only gamers who have played the game would recognize, and I'm sure that they would find enjoyment out of this. If you are not a Minecraft player, you probably watched it as a parent, didn't get half the jokes, didn't understand the references, didn't care for this movie whatsoever. That would probably have been me. Thankfully, my son is too young to want to go to the movie theater. Well, he probably wanted to go. He wants to watch this actually, but he doesn't understand release dates yet, so I ain't gonna take him to watch this. No, I will wait until this movie is free on Netflix or Peacock or wherever they release this on, and then you can watch it then. I don't care. I don't have to watch it. Terrible. I know, terrible. But let's get back to it. It is getting a sequel. It has already been announced. I think that this movie was a huge success. Obviously, it was a hit because it was the first time that Minecraft has come out. Fans of the game wanted to go watch it, and they loved it, they hated it, whatever. There's videos on TikTok where all these kids are going absolutely insane, throwing popcorn, throwing drinks. No, I don't want any part of that. But regardless, I don't think that the same kind of hype is going to be there for the second movie. If they put out a mediocre sequel, no one's going to get hyped for that. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong, but I just don't think that same kind of hype is going to be surrounding a Minecraft movie 2. I just don't think it's going to be there. What do you think? Am I being too harsh on this Minecraft movie? Was it actually good? I want to hear from a parent, someone who's not 10 years old. Did you like this? What'd you think? Is it worth watching? Should I take my kid to go watch it? Let me know down in the comments below. Last story of the day, we have Nintendo talking some trash. Are they talking trash? You be the judge. Nintendo says that they aren't Ubisoft, that their games, their systems don't go on sale because they are Nintendo, and the value of that they present into the consumer's hand is top notch. I'm paraphrasing, but this is basically what this article says. Let's read just a little bit here. During a recent episode of their podcast, Kit Ellis and Krista Yang said that the Nintendo Switch 2 will usher in a new era, one where Nintendo no longer needs to prove itself. They explained from experience that when deciding upon prices, Nintendo expects prospective customers to respect the value to such an extent that during their time at Nintendo, they weren't allowed to do giveaways. Nintendo products have immense value. We must always respect that immense value. Says who? Says you, Nintendo? If you put out garbage, no one's going to want your crap. I'm just saying. This is why these things don't go on sale. The value is the value. No, it's not. Value goes down. And we are seriously into that concept of respect the value of what this thing is that we have made, because it is very special. First of all, it is a huge, huge upgrade from the original Switch. It is a massive upgrade. Much needed upgrade. But with that being said, it only performs at a level that is comparable to somewhere in between the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro. The PlayStation 4 released in 2013 and the PlayStation 4 Pro released in 2016. So at bare minimum, Nintendo is putting out tech that is 9 years old and they're charging it a premium, $450 for a PlayStation 4. 450. How much is the PS5 new today? Okay, here we go. PlayStation 5 bundle with Astrobot, $400. Astrobot's a brand new game. Came out a few months ago. $400. That's already less than the Switch 2. Let's see, $450 for a PS5 Slim. $450 for a Slim digital only. Oh, and that 450, by the way, it's the disc edition, which is, in my opinion, the better value between the two. PS5 Pro console is $700, but that thing is a monster compared to the original Pro system. The amount of power that the PlayStation 5 puts out compared to the Switch 2 it's no contest. The PlayStation 5 would smoke the Switch 2, just out of the water, no questions asked. It's a done deal. However, Nintendo does have its highly impressive first-party games. I will give them that. I like the first-party games. I like the Mario games. I like the Zelda, the Metroid, the Donkey Kong. They're fun. They don't need the super high-end graphics. No. Would it be appreciated to have? Yes, absolutely. Those games would look amazing. They would play amazing. Would feel amazing. Yes, absolutely. Nintendo would benefit big time if they had their games running at such power, but they don't. And then they're trying to bring in third-party support for their system. Of course, one system can't live off of just first-party games. Well, kind of. Nintendo's done it for years. Yeah. But third-party games. You play anything on the Switch today that is third-party, it's hot garbage. Just about. Unless it's a mini game kind of thing, or it's like puzzle games, anything that's simple. Okay, that's fine. But you want to play a fighting game, or you want to play Final Fantasy VII Remake, or you want to play something high-end, power-demanding, something power-hungry, it is not going to run well if they port a current-gen game to the Switch 2. It's just not going to happen. It's like today, this generation, when they were trying to, I'm never going to let this go. Mortal Kombat, when they tried to port Mortal Kombat onto the regular Switch, hot garbage. It was, yeah, that says it all right there. Hot garbage. It's just not going to work. Bayonetta 3 was developed specifically for the Switch, and it couldn't handle the game. You can put some of that blame on the developer for building a game that was too much for the Switch to handle. And that's sad to say. It's going to be the same deal with the Switch 2. Any current console game is not going to run well on the Switch 2. And that would be okay if you look at the system as just a handheld, but you can dock this thing, play on your TV. If you look at it as just a handheld, it's a great device for first-party Mario games. At that price point, if you want to play something power-hungry, get a Steam Deck. Get a ROG Ally. These two devices can handle the more power-hungry games. Why can't Switch 2 be in that same category? I don't know. Nintendo doing Nintendo things. And the article continues. They finished off with, "This isn't Ubisoft. Ouch. What a low blow. If I were Ubisoft, I wouldn't want to develop for Nintendo with that kind of insult. That's messed up." And trust me, I'm not championing for Ubisoft right now. I do like the Assassin's Creed games, but they're always released broken, buggy. You see the videos where your assassin goes through ships and he's going through water, and then he's in black space and the game crashes. They're funny. They're hilarious. Yes, I know. But Ubisoft does at least fix their games in a couple of months over updates. It's not right. They shouldn't be releasing games like that, but they do. And I'll be honest, yeah, for those kind of games, a lot of times I'll wait for the price to drop. I'll wait for Black Friday. When for Nintendo, I'll wait for the price to drop. I'll wait for Black Friday. And usually they're not on sale. They're not. And what do I end up buying them? No. I'm not in a hurry for any of these Nintendo games. I'm just not. I'd much rather play other games that do go on sale. Maybe that's just me being cheap. Maybe that's just me not seeing the value that Nintendo puts out. Well, screw that. What Nintendo is doing is very anti-consumer. They don't care about the consumer. They don't care about us, the people, the gamers anymore. They are just trying to make a buck. And I'm not against a company making a buck. They put in the work. They create the systems. They put the games out. They deserve to make the money. Yes, but not like this, man. Not like this. At this point, they're just exploiting us. They're exploiting gamers like this, man. This is, oh man, they are making such a bad name for themselves. They're pissing off a lot of Nintendo fans. That's my take on that. Maybe you agree with it, maybe you don't. And again, that is just my opinion. Take it how you will. If you're going to buy a Nintendo system, buy it. Enjoy it. Have fun. I probably will eventually, the Switch 2, because I like the first party games. I like the Mario Karts. I like these family games, these multiplayer games. I got kids, they like Mario. I'm going to buy this thing eventually. Am I in a hurry for it? No. Am I going to be happy when I pay $70 for it? Hell no. Shoot, I might wait for Facebook Market for it to go down to $50 or something. I'll figure something out. But trust me when I say, I ain't going to pay full price for this thing. Oh, I forgot this part. They also said it's a Nintendo tax. Bro, what is wrong with you, man? What we made was $60. A lot of those other games that are $60 are junk. Okay, true. I'll give you that. They don't have the level of Nintendo quality or polish or attention. So we need to distinguish how premium this thing is through the pricing. And you will come to understand that. Premium 9-year-old tech in your mobile device. I'm sorry, that is not top of the line. That is not premium. That is old tech repackaged in a box with your brand on it. I, for one, definitely not going to pick this up on day one. Like I said, eventually, one day, it's going to happen. And I won't be happy about it. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Let me know down in the comments below. Are you going to get the Switch 2 day one? I know not everyone agrees with my opinion, and that's fine. You got your own. That's cool. But at the same time, you got to take into consideration that a lot of people do agree with what I'm saying. But anyways, that's all I got for you today. Next week, Menarm will return. I'm sure he'll have some fun stories for us from his trip. Thank you for taking the time to hang out with me today. This is Bogus Bird signing out, and I'll catch you next